Ready for another deep dive? Today we're looking at Miki Kouji, a guy who went from corporate burnout to, get this, a global Zen and innovation movement.
It's wild, right?
Totally. And we've got this amazing interview with him, super personal, where he lays out how he's using Zen in both his businesses and to try and change the world, like, for the better.
It's really interesting how he turned a breakdown into, a breakthrough. He was in this super high pressure corporate job.
Not venture capital, by the way.
Right, not venture capital like some might think. But then, bam, 2008 hits the financial crisis, and he gets laid off after, almost a decade.
He talks about how rough it was.
Yeah, he doesn't sugarcoat it. Got so bad he could barely function.
And right in the middle of all this, he finds the work of Tengi Shiro,
Former Sony exec, developed some pretty cool tech.
AIBO, the robot dog.
Exactly. That AIBO, so cool.
Such a weird connection, right?
Totally. I mean, Tengo Shiro is a legend in tech, but not everyone knows he was, deep into Zen meditation.
Which got Koji interested.
Totally.
And it wasn't easy for him at first. He found traditional Japanese Zen a bit much.
Lots of rules.
Yeah, too strict.
Yeah.
But then, get this, he finds a YouTube video.
No way. Seriously.
Yeah, by some young American dude, just basic meditation stuff.
The internet, gotta love it.
Right, ancient stuff, just to click away.
Crazy. But back to Koji. So what happened as he got into meditation?
Well, he starts feeling better, obviously, mentally, emotionally, but then, boom, business ideas. Like out of nowhere.
Whoa.
Yeah, he's getting these flashes of insight while meditating.
So that's the turning point. He realizes Zen isn't just personal peace.
It's a creativity booster.
And that's the seed of what becomes Zen School.
Exactly. He takes those ideas and, starts a business.
Which, interestingly, at first was focused on helping these makers, people using 3D printers, laser cutters, building stuff. He taught them business skills, the traditional stuff. Zen came later.
Right. The aha moment was during one of these workshops. Scheduling snafu, a gap in the program. And he's like, okay, let's do some Zen meditation, brainstorm business ideas. And guess what?
They loved it.
They loved it. The ideas from those sessions were way more original than anything they'd come up with before.
Wow, so that's when he totally changes his approach.
Yep. Ditches the big workshops, starts Zen School, super small groups, 3 entrepreneurs at a time.
Okay, so what's the secret sauce? What's going on at Zen School?
It's this mix of self-discovery, deep connection, and obviously the Zen. 2 days, they dive into their pasts, share their dreams, and do guided meditations to unearth, their true passions.
And this works?
Oh, yeah. Koji talks about 2 grads. One's developing a flying car.
Get out.
Seriously. And the other one, a lunar exploration robot that NASA's interested in.
No way. That's amazing.
But this isn't just about individual success for Koji, right? He's got this bigger vision.
Totally. He wants to, make the world better.
Which brings us to Zen 2.0.
Yeah, Zen 2.0. Tell me, how did that even start?
So, picture this. 4 friends in a pub, little izakaya near Kamakura Station.
Okay, I'm picturing it. Kamakura, lots of Zen temples, right?
Exactly. And they're talking about how Kamakura isn't sharing Zen internationally. They saw it as a missed opportunity.
And this turns into a global movement.
You better believe it. They don't just talk, they take action. Koji pitches this Zen 2.0 idea at Comic-Con, this group in Kamakura that supports local projects.
Then they're on board.
Completely. It's amazing, right? A clear vision, some passion, the right support, and boom, things start happening. They even got Kinchuji Temple in Kamakura for their first conference.
Seriously, that's huge.
I know, right? Such a revered place. It shows how powerful their vision was. From a pub chat to a historic temple, talk about a glow-up.
So they pull off this first event, and then what?
Things just keep rolling. Zen 2.0 becomes this big deal in Japan, and it's gaining traction in Europe, too. Now they're thinking global expansion.
Wow, that's impressive. And it all goes back to Koji's belief in the ripple effect, right? One person changing can change the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He sees Zen 2.0 and Zen School as, platforms for shifting consciousness, getting people to work for the good of everyone. But he's not stopping there. He's partnering with RISE, a Swedish research institute.
Oh, yeah, to study his methods.
Exactly.
Tell me more about that.
Well, it's early stages. RISE is just interested. But they're going to try and figure out the science behind why this Zen approach works so well for innovation.
So he's not just relying on, anecdotal evidence. He wants hard data.
Exactly. Which is super interesting, right? Because if it pans out,
It could change everything.
what if we start seeing Zen practices in business schools, labs, even government?
Whoa. It's like he's trying to bring Zen to the mainstream. Use it to, make a real difference in the world.
Which is mind-blowing, right? But I got to ask, if Zen's about getting rid of ego, how does that work with, being an entrepreneur, which is all about ambition and achievement?
That's a great question. And one Koji addresses head on in the interview. He says that when we move past our egos, we actually discover this deeper connection to the world.
Meaning working for the good of society and working for ourselves, it's not either. It's both at the same time. It's a pretty powerful idea, right? Working to help others actually helps ourselves. Like it flips the script on how we usually think about, self-interest. It's deep. And we've covered a lot. Koji going from burnout to finding peace in Zen, then Zen School with those crazy success stories, and Zen 2.0, which went from a bar chat to a global thing. What stands out to you in all this?
I think what gets me is how he brought together like ancient spiritual stuff with modern tech, deep personal work and global collaboration. It shows how personal growth can actually lead to making a difference in the world.
It's like he's saying you don't have to choose one or the other. And those weird twists and turns in his story, those are the things I find so interesting. Like, who'd have thought his struggles would lead to Zen, then a whole new way of doing business, and now this whole thing about changing global consciousness. It's like life rarely follows a straight line. Sometimes the biggest changes come from the most unexpected places.
Totally. It's proof that even when things are tough, there's always potential for growth and innovation. You can still make a difference.
Right. He went from feeling totally lost to creating something unique and impactful. And that brings us to a really important part of his story, the decision to partner with RISE, that Swedish research institute, to study the science behind his methods.
Yeah, this research could really change how we understand things. Like, what if there's actual measurable proof that Zen can boost creativity and innovation?
And it's still early, but if it works out, the implications are huge. Imagine Zen in business schools, research labs, even government.
It's a total game changer. It's like he's trying to take Zen mainstream, use it to make the world a better place.
Which is incredible.
Okay.
But I'm curious, if Zen is about like letting go of ego, how does that fit with entrepreneurship, which seems all about ambition and personal success?
It's a good question, and Koji talks about it directly. He says that when you move past ego, you find this deeper connection to everything around you.
So what does that actually look like in everyday life?
It's realizing that your actions have an effect on the world, shifting from like scarcity and competition to abundance and collaboration, understanding that when you help others, you're actually helping yourself too.
So it's not about self-sacrifice. It's seeing that your happiness is connected to the happiness of others.
Exactly. It changes everything, your work, relationships, how you see yourself in the world.
This whole deep dive has been eye-opening, but this really hits home. It makes you question why you do things. Could working for the benefit of society actually be the same as working for your own benefit?
It's a powerful question. It could lead to some pretty amazing things.
It changes how you define success. It's not just about individual achievement anymore. It's about creating positive change that helps everyone and makes the world a better place.
That's exactly it. He's saying stop seeing yourself as separate, striving for personal gain. We're all connected. We can create a more compassionate, fair, and sustainable world.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with this. Think about Koji's journey. How could his story inspire you? How you grow, how you're creative, how you contribute to the world. And hey, if you want to learn more, check out Zen 2.0, Zen School, or the research RISE is doing. Until next time, keep diving deep, keep exploring the connections in our world.
Yeah, it's a beautiful way to think about things. I gotta say, after spending time with Koji's story, I'm feeling pretty inspired myself.
Me too. It's hard not to be, right? It's like he shows what humans are capable of. Resilience, creativity, that desire to be part of something bigger.
Totally. It reminds you that even when things are messy, there's so much potential for growth and change.
He totally embodies that. I mean, think about it. He took his own struggles and turned them into something that's helping people all over the world.
It's amazing. And what's so cool is how he's combined these totally different things. Zen wisdom, cutting-edge tech, looking inward and working globally. Like, you don't have to choose between inner work and having an impact on the world. They go together. And that's a big takeaway for me, the power of those unexpected combinations. That's where the real innovation happens, where things get interesting.
It's like when you're pushed outside your comfort zone. You have to question everything, and then boom, you see things in a whole new way.
And that new perspective could be the spark for the next big idea, the thing that makes a real difference.
Love that. So as we wrap up our deep dive into Miki Kouji's world, here's a final thought for our listeners. We've covered his burnout, Finding Zen, the success of Zen School, Zen 2.0 going global, even the potential science behind it all. What will you take away? How might Koji's story inspire you in your life, your work, how you interact with the world?
It's something to think about. Will you, like Miki Koji, embrace the unexpected? Challenge the status quo. Try to make the world better, not just for yourself, but for everyone.
We hope this deep dive into Miki Koji was insightful, thought-provoking, and yeah, maybe even a little bit inspiring. We'll see you next time for another deep dive into a fascinating topic. Until then, keep exploring and keep asking questions.